Hi there, it's Stavina, and I am in my Tron Light Cycle t-shirt. It's not centered. And it also glows in the dark. And it is almost 1:50 in the afternoon, and I need to start thinking about dinner. And today I'm going to do nori rolls, not sushi. This is not sushi. I'm not using sushi rice. The only thing that's similar to sushi is that it's in a roll and it's got the seaweed nori on the outside. So, no, this is not sushi. If you want to do sushi, there's awesome sushi chefs out there. This is just a easier roll that kind of vaguely looks like sushi. And we're gonna do it. Okay, the most important ingredients in a nori roll is nori and rice. Now this is rice that I actually cooked up a little bit earlier today. It takes about a half hour for my rice cooker to work. I got this from a thrift store. These are awesome. Always cook your rice in one of these. It makes it handy. But when I also did it, I put in a packet of frozen salmon in the top, and it just steam cooked the salmon at the same time. So I, boom, got some steamed salmon. What kind of rice did I use? The rice that I had. I think this is a mix of jasmine rice and brown rice because, yeah, I didn't keep anything like specifically pure to a type, and that's just fine. Don't sweat the small stuff. We're going to make this into a nori roll, which means we're also going to need something to roll with. Is going to be saran wrap. And then there's all of the fillings. So let's now talk about fillings. Obviously, these are going to have some steamed salmon in them. They're going to have some rice. They're going to have nori. Let's talk about other stuff that you can put aside. Herbs. This is cilantro. I'll probably use the stems chopped fine. I've got some homegrown radishes. I'm not going to use the pretty ones. Those ones I'll keep for salad, but all the funky looking ones, those I'm going to chop up. I've got some ginger. That's going to be nice. I'm going to marinate those in some soy sauce. I have some awesome dipping soy sauce, as well as a interesting mix. This is a combination of soy sauce, hot sauce, sweet chili sauce, rice wine vinegar. I can't remember what else, but some of that is going to be nice. I don't have any wasabi, but wasabi is just a type of horseradish, so we're going to be using horseradish instead of wasabi. I've got some cream cheese here, which I think will be mixed really well with the salmon, so that's going to be part of this. I don't know if I'm going to use some sriracha sauce. Maybe I will. The mayonnaise, that's my secret ingredient for the rice. And then we've got other things. If you like the crispy sushis and stuff like that, you can use crispy onions, fried jalapenos, or fried red bell peppers to kind of give it some interesting kick. So obviously this is going to be some creamy, some spicy salmon nori rolls. So I'm going to do some chopping of vegetables, and then we're going to move on to prepping the rice. Okay, radishes and ginger and all that nice good stuff is in here. If I had cucumbers, I would have done them in a nice shoelace cut or French cut so that they would be nice and thin, but I didn't have any cucumbers, so these are just cucumber-less nori rolls. I'm just gonna get the stems of the cilantro in on this. I'm gonna leave the leaves out for later, but I think the stems would be nice. If I had some green onions, which I guess I could go and raid my garden for some onions or chives, I could also put them into this marinade of sauce. I even have a little bit of that horseradish in here. So that's gonna cut away. Now I'm gonna actually end up blending that with some of the cream cheese to just kind of thicken that up, keep the sauces together, and also thin out the cream cheese so that, well, I can spread it onto the nori roll a little bit easier. I've also got avocado here. Here's how I cut my avocado. I hit the seed, go around, give it a twist. Now it's open. Now I just score it like that. I could score it even thinner, but I like to do a cross cut like that. And now, boom, easy chunks of avocado. On this side, to get out the pit, kind of stab it, work the knife around, give it a little bit of a twist, boom. Seed comes out, score it again, and give it a squeeze. All right, that's a nice amount of avocado right there. I've noticed that the rounder a shape of an avocado is, the larger the seed is inside. And if you've got more of an almond shape or even narrow shape, you've got a tinier seed. So that's just a way to pick an avocado that won't be all taken up with seed. But we've got a good amount of avocado here, probably more than what we need. Time to wash my hands. Cilantro leaves mixed in with the avocado. Okay, now time for me to do my thing with the rice. Now, anyone who's a sushi purist is like, oh, you've got to have the right type of sushi rice, and you have to have the right type of vinegar, and you mix it all together and you come up with this nice sticky rice. I cheat. I take rice and mayonnaise. Now I need to answer a few questions. What is it about white people and mayonnaise? I don't know. I really don't know. I suspect at some point in time, a French chef was really angry with his assistant, and he told his assistant, you're going to whip this vinaigrette, the vinegar with oil, until my arms hurt. And oh yes, this has to be a rich one. So what do French people do when they want to make something rich? They add egg to it. And so the assistant just drops a whole egg in there and starts whipping and whipping and whipping and whipping and whipping until suddenly it all emulsifies into mayonnaise, the first mayonnaise ever. That's how I imagine it happening. As for why white people put mayonnaise on everything, I mean, it's salty, vinegary, oily, eggy, has a rich flavor, and yeah, it goes on a lot of stuff. So that whole vinegar, oil, salt thing is where it gets into the sushi. Oh wait, am I really making sushi? Some people say, yeah, you're using nori on the outside in a roll, and it's got fillings, either one type of filling or multiple types of fillings, and you're making sushi rolls. And then other people be like, no, that's not sushi. You have to have the short grain Japanese rice specifically made for sushi. That's a certain type of sticky rice, occasionally called a glutinous rice, even though there's no gluten in rice. Even when a rice says that it's a glutinous rice, it's not. It doesn't have any gluten. Gluten is in the wheat and barley family. It's not in oats, it's not in rice, it's not in corn. So, because I'm not using sushi rice, I think in my recipe I ended up using a combination of jasmine and brown rice because that's what I had. It's not sushi rice, so technically I don't think this could be called a sushi roll. It has to be a nori roll because it's just nori on the outside of a rice and fillings roll. And saying that makes it sound weird. So I just called it a nori roll to get past the people who are sushi purists. But when you are prepping real sushi rice, you make up your rice, you rinse it out. I never rinse out my rice. I just cook it the way it is, and if it ends up a little bit sticky because of the extra rice particles in there, fine. So you cook up your rice, and then you mix in rice wine vinegar, salt, and a little bit of oil. Well, mayonnaise is vinegar, oil, salt, and egg. So I've just added a little bit of extra, and somebody else who made the mayonnaise came up with the perfect proportions of oil to vinegar and salt, so it had just the right flavor. So I'm not gonna mess with the perfection that is mayonnaise. I'm just gonna add it to my plain rice until my rice is the right consistency to make my roll. So there we go. It's got vinegar in it, and it doesn't hurt the color of the rice. So yeah, that's my trick. That's what I'm gonna do. Just pull out a bowl. Make as much noise as possible. It helps if your rice is fresh, but if it's not, just put it in a microwave safe bowl. Put a couple sprinkles of water into it. Heat it up in the microwave. That'll soften it up a bit. Now there's special Japanese mayonnaise out there. Comes in cute little Kewpie doll like squeeze bottles. You could use that instead of this. Am I really measuring? No, not really. But we're looking for a consistency where this sticks together instead of flaking apart. To add in just a little bit more. Got ambitious with that mayonnaise. If you've ever made Hawaiian macaroni salad, you're kind of wanting that sort of consistency where it sticks together nicely without all of the starchy rice falling apart, but it's not soupy with the mayonnaise. That's looking about right. Okay, so the rest of that rice is going to go in the fridge. Mayonnaise is going to get put away. It's time for us to think about rolling. Whenever I have an open package of nori or egg roll wraps or anything like that, I like to keep it in a Ziploc bag. Keeps it nice and crispy. All right, so this nori is perforated, kind of to, I guess, help you decide where to cut it. I don't really pay attention to that very much. What I'm looking for is there's usually a smooth side and a rough side. And I like putting the smooth side on the inside and the rough side on the outside. I don't know if that's correct or not. I suppose I could read instructions. Prepare choices of fillings. Done. Spread sushi rice over seaweed with room at the top. Use bamboo mat to roll. Cut and serve. No clue as to smooth side or not smooth side, but I don't have a sushi mat. I used to, some million or so years ago. Oh, I forgot one thing with the filling. I was going to mix the cream cheese with the sauces. So, we're gonna pause this and get back with this. And show you is I took a couple chunks of the cream cheese. I didn't really measure it, but just some of it. And I popped it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And that has loosened it up so it's easy to stir. So now I'm gonna put my marinated vegetables. Now, back to the rolling. Take a relatively clean spoon or your hands and put some rice onto your nori roll. Now, I like getting it all the way to the side edges. I know some people will cut off the ugly edges of their sushi and like throw those away or something. No, you eat that. It's still tasty. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, take some flakes of our salmon. Put those across there. Take some of our avocado and cilantro mix. Grab our spoon. Put our sauce in there, and I think I'm gonna add some crispy jalapenos to the center of this. There we go. A little bit more of this vegetables and sauce. Okay. Now, more avocado. I know, more. Keep adding more. Okay, so we take this and we fold back some of the plastic wrap so it doesn't get caught on the inside. We press down as we roll it up. And now I tuck in the ends. That's why plastic wrap is awesome. And I finish rolling all the way. Now, this hangs out in the refrigerator. Time for the next one. Find the mysterious end of the cling wrap. It's on here somewhere. There we go. So there you go. One small piece of salmon, pot of rice, and some vegetables, and you can get 5 of these rolls. These are great to have as a dinner. Just cut them still with the saran wrap on them. You can cut them up, give them a little bit of refrigeration first so they can firm up a bit. Then you just take off the wrapper. You can pack them as a lunch. One of these makes a good dinner for a single person. If you're having 2 people, just take 2 packages. So yeah, this is my quick and easy nori roll. Let's cut into one of these. I think I'll go with this guy. That's still warm because it's fresh rice and the sauce and all that was still warmed up, but that's what it looks like. See? Really nice. If you let it firm up, it won't squish as much. Maybe I should use a slightly sharper knife, but these are really tasty. So I went ahead, cleaned up my kitchen, gave it a little bit of time. It is now 2:49, so in just about an hour, I have these lovely sushi. Because I already put the wasabi and ginger inside the sushi, I didn't bother to put it on the outside of the plate, but I did decide 1 dot of sriracha sauce on top would be good. People put sriracha mayo on top of all sorts of different dragon rolls and things like that. So mayo inside the rice and sriracha on the outside seems fair play to me. There's other cheater things that you can do for sushi. Did you know you can get pre-done tempura shrimp that are all like sushi size already? I mean, I could put one in from one end, one from the other, have the little tail sticking out, and do a lovely little sushi roll with something like this. There's all sorts of ways that you can make this easy with whatever vegetables you have on hand. If you choose to use carrots, just make sure you steam them first, maybe when you're doing the rice, just so that they're easy to chew. You don't want anything too stiff for when you're cutting these, because the skin of the nori is a little bit more stable than the rice, and that makes it harder to cut when you've got stiff vegetables in there that are pushing around. So that is my cheater nori roll. That is my cheater nori roll using mayonnaise instead of oil and vinegar inside the rice. Yes, I steamed my salmon. I could, at some point, put in raw salmon if I got it nice and fresh and high quality. Maybe if I caught it myself. But no. Smoked salmon works. Steamed salmon works. Steamed whitefish works, whether you want to do tilapia or something like that. You could do shrimp. I recommend cooking that too. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there who will totally do raw meat from a restaurant, but not from a home cook. And I understand that. My brother-in-law is one of those. I remember one time there was a Christmas dinner, and all I had done is I had taken the eggnog and put it into a pretty container and brought it out of the kitchen, not in the carton, and he wouldn't touch it because he thought I had made my own eggnog with raw eggs or something like that, and he was not going to have that. So I learned after that Christmas, do not try to serve my brother-in-law eggnog that I've made myself, steak tartare, ceviche, sushi, anything. He expects it to be cooked. So yeah. Weird thing is, he loves going out to sushi at a restaurant. So I guess it's just a level of trust. He trusts the professionals, not the home cook. I can accept that in my life. I'm a white person. I like mayonnaise. I also like sushi. And when this whole quarantine thing started, the only sushi shop in town was shut down. So it reminded me of my college days. I've been trying to make sushi since I was in high school. And like most things, when I tried to make sushi, it was interesting Asiatic flavor thing that was in a roll shape. And when I tried to make lumpia, it was, I was told it was a very nice egg roll-like thing. And when I tried to make egg rolls, I was told it was a very nice fried thing. So, no, I'm not a great sushi chef, but I cheat and I make easy so that I can have the flavors that I like, even if it's not in the perfect condition. So, hope you enjoy the video.